Hello everyone, my name is Chris. Welcome to Inside My Mind series where I explain everything that you need to know to become an extraordinary player in the finals. Today I decided to give you a little tip when it comes to solo queue. Before, I would be the biggest hater of this game mode simply because of how utterly disgusting it would feel to lose and get knocked out round 1, just to realize that you can actually change your mindset and playstyle and have fun, improve and become way better than you were before. So in this video we'll talk about builds, positioning, macro, fundamentals, mechanics, and I will understand how I went from being an absolute hater of a solo queue to a person that would play it sometimes when I would want to work on something specific. Let's get started. Alright, so in this video we're gonna look at 3 rounds that I have played this morning as a solo queue light. My main purpose for doing that was to improve my mechanics. Specifically, I would want to work on my duels and I would try to pick a perfect moment for stun guns, because sometimes I miss them, sometimes they are very unnecessary, as well as work on my teleport placement. This is all gonna improve me as a player, and my end goal is not to continue playing solo queue, but rather than wait for my friends that are gonna come in the evening, for example, so I can surprise them with a leveled up understanding of the light. But also, I just wanted to see how far I can go alone, how much better I became, because solo queue is gonna be your biggest stress test. There is not gonna be heal beam mommy that will always heal you up to full HP. There is not gonna be a heavy player that's gonna shield you and RPG from pad and be extremely useful, so you can just AFK on the light. No, when you are solo queuing, you'll be faced with triple light teams with you, where you would have to consistently heal players 1 versus 1 and snowball from that. So as you can see right now on the map, we have a situation of a staggered cash out where A is almost halfway done and we are pretty much fighting for absolutely nothing. Luckily my aim has been on point lately, so I'm cooking them 1 versus 3 pretty much. And here our goal when approaching this cash out is, first of all, look at the tab to see how many players are alive, because if you're going in blindly, you will quickly realize that you would just die for nothing. Again, another one clip. You would have to consistently hit those if you want to be useful on light, and this is the perfect training ground for you. But here I am just party pooping, pretty much perfect opportunity for me to strike on light. When you are playing above, you can throw some glitch, this and that, and oh my god, that was actually beautiful. And we were able to cook this cash out with a third party. Usually the nature of this game really rewards you for third partying, because players are out of position, out of ammo, out of utility. So next time you would see that both teams are fighting, make sure that you don't apply too much pressure to one team, as they would choose to retreat instead of fighting back. Here I'm choosing a position where I am safe, yet I will be able to cancel the res. You wanna always look for opportunities to stun a person that's about to steal, even if it's gonna be the last 10 seconds, right? So as you can see, even though I played it mechanically and fundamentally almost perfect, right? My teammate decided to place the cash in other cash out. Yeah, we got some money for it, like 3,000, but it's absolutely not enough for the stagger that he was able to do. Like clearly my teammates don't care about this game to the point where they are playing triple light with me. So we just have to do something. It's very important to go from cash out to vault to cash out to vault to cash out to vault, because not only you are getting 1,000 for tapping the vault, you are getting 2,000 for placing it in the cache. And if you multiply that by 3, you'll quickly realize that you can win games by a margin just by playing around the objective. In comparison with you going from one cache out to another, trying to grieve the team, and then you cannot grieve them because one guy left, and it just becomes very ugly. Right here, I don't think you should wait for the purple team to spawn. As you can see on top left, they had 19 seconds where I placed it in. We're just gonna cook them right from the start. Sometimes maybe you want to spawn manipulate with a cash out, meaning that if there is a weaker team and you know that you will quickly kill them, you just place the cash in, you let them respawn on you, and then you destroy them. So as you can see, two teams are fighting for 4, pretty much for absolutely nothing, while we are cooking on a high ground. I'm taking the position of power. My MP5 allows me to be versatile. I can be both useful for close range and from long range. As you can see, purple team is padding. I'm not shooting difficult targets. I am waiting for the perfect opportunity. Boom, this is a perfect opportunity, and I was able to hit some pretty nice shots. Notice how I am ping-ponging the attention, meaning that I shoot, and then I let my teammates take the initiative. I let my teammates take the control, right? And then you kind of cook from there. Fortunately, my teammate missed crucial shots from LH1, and it becomes a mess from now on. Right here, I would have just sat and slow res the person right here, yet my guy decided to go for me. Well, respect for that. I feel like if purple team would want to steal the cash out, they will be able to do it without any problem. So here I am scouting. Of course, I'm gonna go and res him. Notice how I'm always choosing the first safe corner when I'm resing my teammates, whether I'm yoinking their trophy by hand or doing something like this. I always want to try to find an off angle, right? I always try to find an off angle, and here I wanted to stop them and then proc the gas, but unfortunately my bullets went to the floor, and even though I would have procced it, it would not have mattered. My team just decided to die for nothing. As you can see here, we are playing pistol plus LH1, which is definitely not gonna help against heavy medium light team that is willing to steal the cash out from us. Even if we are in a situation like this is still completely winnable, absolutely winnable. My first thought, right, so you have two options on the market, right? The easy guy says that we need to go D, which is a very bad play. It's a terrible play. Instead, what you want to do is you want to go tap 5. You're going to collect 1,000 for tapping it. You're going to go and do not place it, but play close to A side. Meaning that when the time will arrive, maybe you don't even need to steal it or place it. Because, for example, sometimes, or like right now, purple is going to steal, which they did actually. Oh my god, predicted that perfectly. And now you're second place, and then you just hold the cash out for as long as you possibly want. I remind you that this is your responsibility on light to play objective. And as you can see, they did not do anything special. My teammate just completely threw the game, in a sense that they tried to wipe a team with $1,000 while they had 14,000, which is like a net negative exchange. You really don't want to do that. I was forced to place the cash out in because I heard enemies, and here we are just slow resetting. I'm giving space, I'm not fighting for nothing. I understand that chances of me 1v3ing opponents are very slim, especially given the fact that I'm playing light. So I'm just giving up space, I'm setting up for the next position of power. I am trying to cancel the cash out. I'm waiting for my teammates and buying as much time for them as possible. So I'm not exactly sure what is my thought process right here, but here I am flanking, right? So I was able to cook up the orange light. I was able to kill him because I jumped and strafed on the right side, and it gave me the opportunity to like throw his crosshair away to the point where it was very, very difficult to hit me. Again, I waited for the slow reset on my HP, and now I am playing safe. My teammates are dead pretty much for nothing. They did not accomplish anything with their death. And again, I am trying to play my life. I'm trying to play it as perfectly as I possibly can. You have to change your mindset. Instead of thinking I cannot lose while solo queuing, you need to ask yourself, what can I do to become better so I can group up with my teammates in Discord next time and I can become a better light player. This is what's gonna help you become better, right? So right here, that was pretty unfortunate that I didn't one clip him. I stunned and then I circled around him. Very difficult to hit a light like that. We almost were able to steal the cash out, and as you can see, it's borderline impossible. I don't know what I have to do here in order to hook up. I'm 1 HP, they dropped me down. I'm trying to slow reset, always looking at the timer, 19 seconds. It takes 6 seconds for me to steal the cash out, so I'm coming closer, recharging my stun gun, hooking up this person. I still have time, so I'm going for it. I'm going, and then the guy just kills me with 3 seconds left. Again, even though I got knocked out I still got experience, and this is amazing. Let's look at another 2 rounds I've played. The second you realize that solo queue is definitely not the place to blame your teammates for the mistakes they are making, it's definitely not the place to be upset about getting knocked out, dead or grieved, you realize that you have a lot of opportunities to grow as a player. You zone out, and instead of looking at everyone else, you fixate on your mistakes and you learn from them. This is exactly how you become the best version of yourself as fast as possible. Also, I can give you a few life hacks that will prevent you from blaming anyone in your life ever again. Fundamental principle number 1. Every human being is trying its absolute hardest every second of its life, and it's really handicapped by the conditions that he is in, as well as genetics, right? The second fundamental principle is that everyone is at their respected level that they deserve in life. So if you find yourself in a situation when you are blaming your teammate for playing like an idiot, perhaps he has bad conditions to do that, perhaps he's just not genetically on the level that you think he has to be, right? Not everyone is a genius. There are a lot of players that are still learning the game and they are on their respected level. They might be potentially better than you, but as of right now, they are worse due to lack of knowledge, lack of practice, lack of time to practice. Like, it doesn't matter, right? So again, knowing that, solo queue turns from being torture, pain, and just a terrible experience, it turns into a place where it's only you against a weaker version of yourself. It's only you against the world. There is not gonna be a mommy and daddy that you can call to fix your problems. It's you, literally you. If you are making mistakes, you're gonna get reality checked incredibly hard. There is not gonna be a person that will boost you, that will fix mistakes for you, right? Your solo queue teammates are definitely not made for this. So in this current situation, I am pre-placing the teleporter above the cashout and I'm playing in a safe environment. I'm looking for opponents, perhaps they are going for the steal, and if I don't see anyone, I just go. Here I decided to reset my teleporter timer in order to have it when I would need it, because sometimes you can forget and it can become a problem. Although right now there's 70-meter limit again, so you kind of don't need to. As you can see here, we are implementing the same strategy, going from cash out to vault to cash out to vault, because if we were to go to B right now, not only we would have lost time and potentially would lost the control over cash out 3, but also it would become extremely ugly. So as you can see, I drew attention to the point that I'm going 3. I shot my teammates, so they pay attention to me. Again, this is not disrespectful, I'm just like, they are zoned out, just playing on autopilot probably, and I'm trying to play properly, right? I'm punch throwing the cash to them. It didn't work, but that's exactly what you have to do. You chain punch throw the cash out to make it as quick as possible, right? So here we decided to go C, because D is pretty far. C is gonna be pretty difficult to defend, almost impossible if there are like 3 teams fighting for it, right? But there are still things that you can do. First of all, on every single cash out, try to look for barrels. If you would find red barrels, you can create lines of sights. If you find green barrels, you will stagger the cash out. If you find goo, you can create artificial walls to feel safe behind them. And if you find flammable barrel, don't even take it, it's pretty useless in the current state of the game. Smoke can also be useful, but I would say it's more harmful than good for the majority of the time, right? So here we are taking the position of power. I'm just scouting. My job is to open up the fight last, initiate last, die last, take damage last. I am here to lurk and to kill enemies that are clueless, out of position, lost, confused. This is exactly what I'm going to do. So right here, I scouted the orange team. I trust my teammates to the point where they are going to be okay. They are going to be okay for another like 10 seconds, right? If I never apply any pressure. But the second I start applying pressure, I will be able to help them. So I was able to find a kill on a medium. When you are standing still, you are completely invisible. And here we are cooking. I made a very stupid mistake here. I did not look at my teammates' positioning. I thought they are padding with me because I'm getting used to that, right? My teammates would have padded. But that happened, and this is a 2 versus 1 situation. He's gonna res, my teammates are gonna do some questionable choices when it comes to resing, right? The perfect situation would be to just barricade and res immediately behind it, just like the person did, but he's picking up the barricade and it just becomes very ugly, right? So what we have to do right here is we need to stall as much time as possible. Notice how I'm taking the position of power on an off angle, and I'm looking for the kill on the medium. These players are not particularly good at the game, so I am able to cook them up like that. So I go for a stun gun and follow it up with a spray, right? The second you learn how to control your recoil, you become very deadly on light, especially if you're playing MP5 and not forcing some weird weapons like LH1 or M11, which are pretty decent, but still just a shatter of the things, or not the shatter, how do you say that, just wasted potential, to say the least, because MP5 is the best weapon on the market. So as you can see here, we are at $31,000. It means that I can go and grief another team. As you can see, both teams have 30k plus, meaning that if you want to grief another team, 2 conditions have to be met. First of all, you need to put both cash outs in the same, or both vaults in the same cash out, right? So you need to double stack. Another condition, you need to wipe the enemy team, or at least kill players, in order to have more money, because like right now it is enough. It's 29, right? It's 29, we have 32. So if we'll be able to cook the cash out on A. Oh, I made a massive mistake here. I don't know what I'm doing here, but yeah, so if you are cooking the cash out on A, and then you're going for 6, you have a lot of time to double stack, and usually the team that has 30,000 is not gonna be ready for it, right? The purple team, they are just gonna chill on the other side of the map, thinking that they won, just to realize that the cash is gonna get double stacked, and that's gonna be a GG. Right, my medium is going to res me. It's playing an interesting build with frag. In HML, of course, you need double movement, just because you're not fighting indoors that much, and opponents can kite your nades, but you can take positions of power on high ground. So here, again, I'm off-angling, I look at the enemies that are playing on the left side, and I'm going right side. So right here, I want to grief purple, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in top 6. Right, instead of fighting, I have a whole minute left to do that. That's a lot of time, especially if I have a teleporter and I'm playing on light, right? So we are tapping it, replacing the teleporter, and going 69 meters away, because at 70 your teleport is gonna break, right? As you can see, the purple team is the best, it feels like. So I'm throwing the vault, and then we are going. I feel like I would fail with a double stack, so usually you would have to trade your life or the opportunity to double stack, but here I just wanted to stay alive because like my medium can die and stuff, so I just threw the cash thinking that they would do something. I'm bursting the bubble because it's the first adequate reaction that you need to do. If you see a bubble, you burst it. Here I'm cooking the medium, immediately invising away. And here I'm not shooting orange because I want to help them, right? Orange is the weakest team in the lobby, so I need to let them be alive, right? If that makes sense. But unfortunately they are short on money, and because I didn't double stack and they didn't double stack, it became very ugly, and purple still was able to go in. Alright, and now let's look at the last round for today's video. I would like to look at my own mistakes and self-analyze. Here we are approaching the cash out at A. I'm going for the window climb tech, which allows you to not only be unpredictable, but a lot faster than if you were to take the stairs, right? So here, breaking, and then going for the window climb. I see that my teammates are fighting below, so I'm trying to help. It becomes like pretty ugly at this point. I'm trying to help, but I'm not always in time. I'm trying to off angle, but they are just running away from me. So instead, Instead of being useful, yeah, I'm just I'm just not being useful, right? So we are window climbing and going for the steal. So in a situation like this, where the cash out is pretty much almost done, right? And you'll have one significant fight with your opponents. You want to pre-place the teleporter and play as safe as possible. I chose this exact location because I can, like every single time that they would approach, I would already be ready with my teleporter in my hand. And here I'm like checking if I would be able to glitch someone. No, I wouldn't be able to glitch someone, so we just go for the TP straight up. Important not to give away your location for nothing, so you want to crouch. So enemies would have to guess, like, look at what I'm doing. I'm already right-clicking the teleport, waiting for the perfect opportunity for me to go, which is gonna be on the first second of the steal. More you wait, more time you give to your opponents to group up and maybe body block, shield, bubble. More time you give your opponents to actually, you know, look at the situation, and yeah, nothing happened. We were lucky enough to get the first 10,000, even though this is definitely not enough to win the game. But when you have 10,000 and 15,000, with like 80% chance, you are going to be pretty safe. So as you can see here, I am predicting the Vault 4 position, because I understand that if Vault 3 is like right side, then D is like also right side. So Vault 4 is going to be on the opposite side, because vaults and caches have to be on the opposite sides of the map. Otherwise it would be pretty unfair, right? So here we are going for the approach. I'm constantly checking my positions of my teammates. It's incredibly important to do so, because as a light player, you don't want to approach alone and die because everyone just turned around for you. We have a perfect position. I am just cooking enemies left and right. I was completely in the zone this game, and it almost looks like I'm cheating, right? Because I'm not missing bullets, which is a nice compliment. Here we cooked another guy, and unfortunately I'm gonna get pushed, but my teammates will figure it out, right? Yeah, my teammates figured it out. I just did so much that it was borderline impossible to lose. It is my responsibility as a light player to hold the cash out, to move it to the cache. Very important to do so, because your heavy player is gonna be slower and wants to protect you if something with bubble and shield. Your medium player wants to provide you with movement, and it almost feels pointless for him to hold the vault, right? So it is your responsibility, your job. As you can see, 3 is being staggered, and I'm just trying to survive here, pretty much. Like, I'm crouching here. It becomes very ugly, so I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna let the cache go. I want to let the cache go. I definitely don't want to die for it. You can give opponents the initiative. 1,000 or 2,000 that they're gonna get for the cash out is gonna be raised when they wipe. So I'm not afraid to like give up the cash out for a better positioning. Like, the worst part that can happen is I die. So I yoink my teammate at the highest possible range, and we are resetting. It is my responsibility to die last, to go last, to engage last. I'm playing for my team. I'm a support player. Like, people think that light class is a Terminator that can go in and 1v3 reliably. No, you're just lurking, you're just playing your life. Like, and notice how right here, instead of mindlessly fighting, I am actively thinking about ways to res my teammate, because I understand that 3 is a better number than 2, especially when it comes to finals. My heavy player already seems like engaging, but yeah. I'm pre-placing a safe teleport and using the lift. Right here we are going. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. It's important to bait your opponents. Like, I'm looking left, looking right. I don't see anyone. I shot the turret right here, which is good. You definitely need to do that. And here I should have tapped it once, and perhaps that would have baited our opponents a little bit harder, right? Right here I'm like looking, and I'm tapping from the max range, right? I'm tapping, and I should have, this is my bad, I should have tapped for like 2 seconds maximum and then start fighting with my opponents, because what happens is that, yeah, I end up in a very ugly situation where I Oh my god, that was so bad. That was so bad. And we still don't have the initiative. Even though I killed the light and brought one guy to half HP, I would never explain my teammate where is he rezzing, right? I will never explain it to them. And then my medium just drops in and yoinks someone for some. This is like crazy. His sensitivity is so high, it's insane, right? They're going for the yoink, yoink, yoink. Yeah, you should have bubbled, bro. But that's okay. That happens, right? I lost my 1v1, and it is going to be a fair loss from now on, because if you wanna reliably defend cashouts, you just need to get rid of everyone. If you don't do that, you will ultimately lose. So we are in a situation where we have 9,000 and it's still winnable. We just need to tap Vault and play for 5. Play for 5. As you can see, I'm already looking at this beautiful vault, because I understand that I don't have time for the cash. I don't have time to kill my opponents, so they have less money than me. So the only thing I can do is pre-place the TP, tap the vault, pre-place the TP, and move towards cashout B, right? I'm constantly looking at the meter range below. So I'm like, is it enough? Is it enough? Is it enough? I'm gonna wait a little bit so people don't yoink it before time, right? Then I'm gonna throw it like this. Boom. And it's gonna appear, and I will be able to place it in B. I don't have time for A. I'm gonna die for it, but fundamentally this was the only proper play that would give us the chance to win in this game. Unfortunately, my team is dead, fighting two different teams for no reason. But that's just a part of solo queue. They are clueless. You don't really expect much from them, right? So our only chance is to steal it now, which is borderline impossible. Every team wants to grief us. There are at least two teams that don't want us to steal, and they are happy with just whatever happens. It's pink and purple. And then we're gonna get griefed by the orange team that also wants to steal and have the chance to compete for the qualification line. Here I missed a few shots, but then again it's just borderline impossible to do anything, right? I was able to cook the light on 1 HP. My teammates are clearly not in a position to help me with heals because they are fighting their own battle. We are dying for pretty much nothing in a useless fight. Here I'm yoinking my teammate, trying to res him because, you know, what else can you do, right? And then we are going last timing, 10 seconds. Will we be able to make it? One guy is stealing, not stealing. I decided to dash into the fire and die, right? So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully this was useful. Let me know in the comment section what do you think. See you next time. Goodbye.